Well, good morning, guys. Welcome back to another trading session. Well, yesterday it was a an odd day. Portugal suffered a major blackout, so that's why I didn't stream yesterday. It was kind of a crazy day since we had no power. We had a power outage, a national-wide power outage, and at some point we lost communications as well. So things were a bit messy and a bit crazy. There was nothing that we could do. Shops were closed within the first hours of the blackout. The shops just got closed. There were no traffic lights. The airport didn't work; it was closed. Hospitals were at some kind of emergency protocols, working on emergency protocols as well. Yeah, it was a tough day. You had no access to no cash. Electronic payments didn't work. It was crazy. But eventually, the government and the company that is responsible for the power distribution here in Portugal just solved the problem, and honestly, we are back here at the streams. Well, first of all, for those who are watching, I'm reminding you that we are still trading a demo account. Probably in the next few days, I will come back to the combines, but for discipline reasons, I'm still trading the demo account. And don't judge me. I'm just trying to be disciplined and try to follow my plan and my rules. Honestly, this is all about transparency. So for those who are watching for the first time, or eventually those who are following me for some while now, I'm just remembering you that I'm still trading the demo account. As you can see here, it's a practice account, as Topsepex is referring it. Yeah, so far. And what about today? Yeah, it's not a. I would say that this week it's full of mimes. You know, we have a lot of news driver. We have NFP on Friday. So usually when you have NFP on Friday, your trading should resume on New York AM session of Wednesday. So I would not recommend you to trade on Thursday or eventually on Wednesday afternoon, since the market will probably just try to gather some liquidity and form some liquidity as well. So you might get caught eventually in those liquidity formations. So price will probably not have a logical or eventually a clear direction. So that's why I would not recommend you to trade after Wednesday morning, since we have NFP on Friday. We also have the 1st of May is a European holiday, so it's a European holiday where the banks will be closed as well. So the volume, especially on the London session, the volume might be kind of low. So I would not recommend you to trade as well on the 1st of May. Especially the London session, it might not give you anything. It may be just a consolidation type of environment and a low probability as well. So for this Friday, expect some manual intervention as well. Manual intervention is when things are not clear, and the market can go wherever it wants to go. This is what we call manual intervention, where you might have a bias, but eventually the market will do something crazy before hitting your bias, or eventually it will completely disrespect your bias and seek for the other things. So the NFP protocol should be a very tight and very restrict protocol that you should implement. Today is Tuesday. We have 10 a.m. news. I will probably wait for 10 a.m. news. But so far, we can see that price is inside the previous day high and inside the previous day low. So it's kind of in a equilibrium state here. I see that we have some relative equal highs here, Asia and London highs. But we will probably, since we lost the analog support here and we respected the 15-minute fair value gap, the bearish one, I guess we will probably visit previous day low before trying to hit these highs here. So my main draw should be the sell side liquidity in form of previous day low. Right now, price is retesting another 15-minute fair value gap, which I will note here. I will just put this on the 15-minute, as you can see here. So this is a stretched one. It's a big fair value gap. I would say that this is a double fair value gap. I usually consider these as double fair value gaps. So right now I will probably look for some kind of an order block inside the 15-minute fair value gap and see if it gets respected. I can see this order block here right below this shaded area, which is the NWAG, and has some confluence with the 830 open. So price can eventually come to this order block here and eventually retest it before heading downside, or it can eventually just respect the midpoint of the 15-minute fair value gap and go directly to our sell side point. I will wait for 10 a.m. news, because 10 a.m. will also mark the beginning of another 4-hour candle. So it might give us some kind of an idea what the market wants to do the next 4 hours. If it wants to just purge the high of the last 4-hour candle, or if it just digs downside to sell side liquidity in previous day low. Well, so far we already had the 930 open. I will mark this here as 930 open here, and we already had no, we cannot consider this small fair value gap as the first presented one, because this candle is the 930 candle. I want to see a candle after 930 forming a first presented fair value gap. So I will still wait for some kind of a first presented fair value gap presentation. Yeah, so far price is working inside the 15-minute bearish fair value gap. There's not much to do right now, and since we have 10 a.m. news, I will probably wait for it. We can also mark this leg here and try to eventually see where price is with the pivot extension. It may give us some kind of an accurate projection. As you can see here, price stopped right at the minus 2.5 standard deviation. So this might give us an idea that price stopped right here and will retrace in between the -1 or eventually the minus 0.5, which has some confluence with the order block that I mentioned before. So it seems that the bearish order flow is being respected. I will just check the OTE levels. As for the OTE levels, we still have some upside, some possible upside, because the 0.62, as you can see here, has some confluence with the order block that I just talked about. So at this point we will wait. I will not interact with the market before 10 a.m. So these are just levels to keep in mind and to have in mind for the price action after 10 a.m. I will probably expect something like this, and eventually at 10 a.m. price will give us some kind of intention, and this would be this would be an ideal situation of what I'm expecting. Price keeps grinding higher in between 9:30 and 10 a.m. and at 10 a.m. It reaches the order block and displaces to the downside. So this would be an ideal scenario, but let's wait. Let's wait and see if it wants to respect the order block, or if it just wants to purge all of these highs here. We have this one, this, and relative equal highs from Asia and London as well. Yeah, so far price is touching the order block here already, displacing to the upside. Just let me check the candle sizes as well. Yeah, these candles, I can consider them as big candles, since we have 13 handles in 3 minutes, so the ranges are quite considerable. So I will mark the order block here, the bearish one, and let's see if it wants to hold price to the downside, or if it just inverts it and starts to act as support. Right now price is, if I check it right here, right now price is in a premium, taking into account the previous daily range. It just came to discount here below the 15%. Just came to discount and just moved to the upside quickly. So yeah, let's see Let's wait a bit more. We still have some minutes before the 10 a.m. news. Yeah, we still have 15 minutes. Something like that, yeah. Price just formed the first presented fair value gap as well, which is this small one right here. So far it is respecting it. But just notice how price touched the order block and came and immediately reacted to the downside here. It can be some kind of a tease to the downside as well, but since we have these eyes here, which are too perfect for me, honestly, I will have to wait and see. Let me just check the OT levels once again. So price is pushing above the 0.662. I would not like if our bearish bias is correct. I would not like to see price pushing above it. I would like to see price staying in between the 0.62 or eventually 0.77 to 75. I mean, it can work a little bit here, but I would not like to see price digging higher and higher and just climbing it higher and higher and higher. Otherwise, I would like to change my bias for a bullish one, targeting these relative equal highs here as Asia highs and London highs. So these are relative equal highs here, and I will mark them as Asia highs, and I'll go back it like this. So far, 9:30 gave us a bullish reaction. We are reaching the limit, the acceptable limit for a retrace of this bearish leg. So if price continues to the upside, I would consider these relative equal highs as a draw in on liquidity, and where price will eventually reach. We still have midnight open as well. Sometimes midnight open can eventually act as a magnet to price. As you can see here, price respected the first presented fair value gap. Just put a touch. It is displacing above the bearish 15-minute fair value gap here. So kind of invalidating our bearish pieces. it is breaking through the NWAG as well right now, and it's still climbing to the upside. The order block that was responsible for this bearish leg kind of got disrespected here, so I'm not expecting this to. I'm not expecting now price to come back below it. We will eventually seek for relative equal highs and Asia and London highs. Otherwise, if price does not give us anything clear, it might consolidate here in between the NWAG as well. It can be an option as well. I would not like to see that happening, but that's quite common when price is inside of an NWAG. It just stays there inside of the NWAG and just punish everybody that tries to engage with price. And we are still climbing, so the bearish theory is getting weaker and weaker. Sell side liquidity in previous day low might not get reached. I think that we will eventually reach for relative equal highs, previous day high, and Asia and London highs. Right above it, we have another NWAG, and in between these two NWAGs, we have event horizon, which is it must be around these relative equal highs. The price just displacing to the upside here. We have to keep in mind that the price is also reaching a 15-minute bearish order block, and this order block can eventually offer some resistance. Yeah, so far, since 9:30, price just made a run to the upside, which honestly it can be a little suspicious. Whenever price just does a run to the upside, not giving us any type of chance to interact with. It's kind of a suspicious it's kind of a suspicious environment, and it cannot offer us the confidence that we would like to see on price. Looking at the 4-hour candle, as you can see, the 4-hour candle is forming a major wick. So this bearish leg is now a wick. and we still have 8 minutes to go for the 10 a.m. news. So as I told you before, I will not engage with price before 10 a.m. I will just wait and see if price really wants to keep grinding higher, or if it just wants to invert and take all this liquidity. As you can see here, we have some relative equal lows here down below. We have this kind of trend line liquidity as well. So these are all points that the price can eventually seek for. As I said before, price is now working at a 15-minute order block. So that's why price is just mumbling around here, taking its time to do whatever it wants. It will probably do the rest of the intended move at 10 a.m. But we have to wait to see if it really wants to move, or if it wants to stay here in between the end wall and in between these PD arrays, because this honestly is a very congestive area here, which might offer us some high resistance liquidity. Price came back down, retested the 830 open. As you can see here, it was quite a clean retest and a nice reaction so far. It has some confluence with the order block as well. These three candles, we can consider this the order block. It retested a bit more than 50% of it, so it might eventually keep grinding higher here. But we still have some time before news. We have 3 minutes. I don't expect this type of news driver to move a lot with the market. It is a high impact news, but it will not displace like in a crazy way, but it might show us the real intention of price. Well, just let me. We are approaching 10 a.m. I will just mark the high of the last 4-hour candle, which is 5567. So 5567. Yeah, this is the high. This is the high of the last candle, the last 4-hour candle. We still have 1 minute. We can eventually seek higher, take out the high of the previous 4-hour candle, and then place to the downside. So as you can see, 10 a.m. news just dropped down, stopped right at the first presented fair value gap. Good wick to the downside, honestly. That's why you wait. That's why you should wait for news driver. Imagine that you're along, taking advantage of this rally to the upside. You would probably get stopped out here. There's no chance that you would have been your stop would have been safe. So price just wicked to the upside, wicked to the downside as well, and it is now almost at the same point. But this is the main reason why you should wait for the news driver to hit, unless you have a position that is way below or way above the news driver event. Otherwise, if you have something near it, you will probably get stopped out. That's how it usually works. Yeah, price is now kind of messy, as you can see here. price just wicked, and it has done nothing. It just punished whoever was in a trade. Yeah, it seems like price really wants to push higher, as you can see here. It's just this wick just stopped out everybody who was long, but now it is displacing to the upside. Let's see if it wants to take buy side liquidity as the high of the 4-hour candle, or if it wants to proceed higher. Nice displacement to the upside here right now. You notice how the 10 a.m. news driver just was just used to take everybody out, to gather some more liquidity, and push price eventually a bit higher. So the first target is met here. So buy side liquidity as the high of the 4-hour candle is reached. Next we have Asia high and London highs. And at this point, I would like to see this being treated as a breakaway gap. Midnight open can eventually offer support. So something like this would eventually probably work. This will probably be a immediate rebalance, and price will quickly grab the Asia and London highs, at least. Let's see if this works out. Since we have Asia and London highs here and previous day high as well. Midnight open should work as support as well. Price now trying to revisit midnight open, and this is where I'm expecting price to hold. If it doesn't hold, it might react to the downside, because we took already buy side liquidity as the 4-hour candle high. So I forgot to mention that we're inside of the macro as well. So 950 to 1010. Midnight open is being retested. This fair value gap that I would like to see stayed open is now being retested. This one right here. Yeah, so price will eventually leave Asia and London highs later, or my stop tight here. We will see. If this one gets inverted, we will see probably a move to the downside. Yeah, we are inverting this one. And if this one gets inverted, then we will probably see lower prices, because we took buy side liquidity as the 4-hour candle high. Seems like after all I had my stop a bit too tight here. Should have had it below this candle, but since we are respecting the fair value gap, I'm still expecting higher prices. And Q still has London and Asia highs to bridge as well. Price retesting it once again, a bit more. And after all, its real intention is to come to the downside, honestly. Now it got inverted. So the execution here was not perfect. Price is kind of violent now. But this one should be treated as an inverted fair value gap now. And price should eventually come to these lows and eventually previous day low. Let's see. Testing the order block right now. So this order block should stay safe and should hold price to the downside. Notice how we are in between the end wall, the 15-minute fair value gap as well. And notice as well how price just left relative equal highs as Asia and London highs. Eventually for later, it got satisfied with the 4-hour candle high as buy side liquidity. As for now, I would like to see this end walk get inverted. I would not like to see this act as support on price. And would like to see this 15-minute fair value gap to stay as a bearish one, not to get inverted. So the main idea of Asia highs and London highs, and eventually previous day high, didn't work well. Price got satisfied with the 4-hour candle high as buy side liquidity. It didn't need to come above it. So right now we are seeking for these lows right here and eventually previous day low too. Nice displacement to the downside right now. Price supporting on 8:30 open. Not supporting, but it is just working it. So 8:30 open should work as a resistance right now. We are at the bottom of the analog already, and I want to see it getting inverted. Let's see if price can do it. Yeah, so far 8:30 open is holding as resistance. So I would like to see another leg to the downside. Eventually, I would like to see the first presented fair value gap getting disrespected as well, or get inverted, as you whatever you want to call it, disrespected or inverted. So I'm for now I'm aiming for this this bottom here. It has some confluence with the previous 4-hour candle low. It has a lot of liquidity here. A lot of stops are positioned right here below these wicks. So I can assume that price will try to take out all of these stops right here. That we can eventually try to hold a runner or the previous day low as well. It will take some time for that, but I guess this one should be our low-hanging fruit. If we manage to make a projection here as well, it has some confluence with minus 1.5 standard deviation, so it is quite an acceptable target. As of now, I want to see bearish PD arrays being respected. As you can see here, this bearish fair value gap didn't even got traded in, so it seems like we can run lower. Price already outside of the analog. It broke through it, but now reacting inside of the first presented fair value gap. This should be a harder support to break. Then we have 930 open that will act as support as well. So at this point, I think we need to have some patience here and wait for price to work and do its thing. But I'm almost certain that we will get this liquidity here. Reaching the first presented fair value gap here. So an immediate reaction, as you can see here. Let's see if we can displace below. I will mark this order block as well, so price is allowed to come to this order block here. And not climb above it. That's what I would not like to see. So price is already taking data lows, which is this wick here. But I want to see it run below it. I might say that the first two executions were not perfect because I was convinced that the price would try for buy side liquidity and Asia highs and London highs. It didn't happen. But as soon as we inverted this fair value gap, I knew that we would eventually seek for sell side liquidity in the form of these lows right here and eventually previous day low. So I will mark this as sell side liquidity. And low or hollow. candle. Yeah, as I told you, the first presented fair value gap is acting as a biggest support here, but I want to see it close below it, and I think we will try to reach for the low of the 4-hour candle. So at this point, I will manage my risk. This order block should hold. We can eventually accept a retrace to this fair value gap here. Watching NQ, and NQ did not take the data lows. This can mean two things: or we will present some kind of an SMT and price will just keep grinding to the upside, or NQ will eventually drag ES to the downside, since it has to work this low still. The order block is not holding as a resistance here, so this fair value gap will be the next area to be retested, and this one should really hold. Otherwise, this short will not deliver the sell side that we intended to explore. Well, so far price is respecting the fair value gap. Right above it, we have another order block here, the green candle here, and my stop is right above the order block. So this is the so-called last line of defense. And price just inverted quite easily this fair value gap, so I guess I will be stopped out here. Yeah. Well, sell side didn't work. The first presented fair value gap acted as a support here, and drove price to the upside. Since we still have relative equal highs and Asia and London highs, I guess price will eventually try to reach for them. Looking into the 15-minute time frame, you can see that we have two engulfing candles, a green one and a bearish one. It's always hard to trade when you have engulfing candles following one by another, because it seems that price will punish everybody who are trying to benefit from some type of movement. Price making a good run to the upside, engulfing the bearish movement here. Right now we are in some type of a tricky environment because price has no clear direction. Just came to the upside, came to the downside. Let me just check here. Forgot to check the OTE levels. The price was coming down. Yeah, an almost perfect touch on the OTE levels here. So as you can see, price is doing some harsh retraces whenever it moves to the upside or to the downside. So since price did a U-turn as soon as it touched the first presented fair value gap, it is clear now that price wants to go for buy side liquidity and eventually the next end wall. The question here is now, where should I enter? Where should I take advantage of knowing where price wants to go? The most clear and the most logical thing should be waiting for some type of a retrace. So if I take the OTE levels here, I should wait for some kind of a retrace into this inverted fair value gap. I'm not sure if price will give us that chance, honestly, but we will wait for it, because it might give us a chance. So another retrace here. Let's see if we can get a chance to catch price here down below. Put a limit buy here and see if it touches it right above the inverted fair value gap here. this point, I will take this one out. It's getting a bit messy here with all these things. So another 15-minute candle has opened, so I guess if we have some kind of a power 3 where it opens low and closes high, it should give us some kind of a retrace. It's just making a new high. As you can see here, it might not give us the chance to enter, and it will probably seek for Asia high and London highs directly without a deep retrace. Yeah, pressing it's taking its time right now. Midnight open once again. Here acting as some kind of a resistance. And just as the usual behavior from price, as soon as we approach 11 a.m. price just starts to get slower. It doesn't move like it was moving before. It's a typical 11 a.m. Behavior from price. It's kind of stubborn right now, but that's how it usually behaves as soon as we approach 11 a.m. 11 a.m. is the time in the morning where traders just go grab their coffee and just finish their morning of work. Honestly, it's the pre-lunch coffee. Yeah, boring action right now. It's been almost 20 minutes at the same level. I'm still expecting a retrace back to somewhere near this inverted fair value gap, just to enter a long position that will eventually drive us to buy side liquidity as previous day high. And price probably decided to run without us. It will leave us behind. Relative equal highs and Asia and London highs are too close now. price pushing higher, we have no opportunity to interact with it, honestly. The only thing that I can see here is a retest on the order block here when price was coming down here. It retested the order block, but this was not enough because I still have a lot of imbalances here to be fulfilled. So the idea was correct, but price didn't give us what we wanted, which was the retrace. So it will just go for buy side liquidity and previous day highs. It can eventually go to the NWOG as well. So this high is taken out. This is really close to Asian data highs. And to previous day high. So for those who like to scalp, this should eventually work because this can be treated as a breakaway gap. So for those who like to scalp, this can eventually work. We can eventually stretch this as until the NWOG as well. But that's not how I would like to play because it didn't work here. Price can eventually do some kind of a OT retrace, and this would eventually bring price to somewhere near the inverted fair value gap here down below. You can see here, see, this is being treated as a breakaway gap. This one right here is the fair value gap that should hold price, and it will probably stretch out a little bit to buy side liquidity here as previous day high. As you can see, price is trying to reach her buy side liquidity. It's taking its time, but it really will reach it. Things got clearer as soon as we did this U-turn here, this V shape on the first presented fair value gap. When price was here, I was expecting it to come below it, but honestly, price didn't give us because the main draw was still here. Another retrace from price here. So it's 11. We might have the retrace that we were talking about or not. We still have previous day high. Take out. Let's see if we can respect this fair value gap here. Yes. If so, we might see buy side liquidity here. But at this point, relative equal highs, Asia high, London highs are taken. So it's kind of a risky area to be long. Price can eventually retrace a little bit more, taking these lows here, which I think it will do. Yeah, but the fair value gap is really holding, which show us the real intention of price for coming to buy side liquidity in previous day high. Midnight open just acted as support as well. So it can eventually hold price. There we go, a nice push to the upside here. At this point, I would like to see this bearish fair value gap to get inverted, not being treated as a bearish one. Yeah, price not working here as we intended it to work. Just respected the bearish fair value gap, so I guess the bearish move is on its way. We inverted the bullish one here as well. Yeah. I believe that price eventually reached Asia and London highs. It's then with buy side liquidity eventually. We still have previous day low, previous day high, I mean, but it will probably let it before later, because right now it still has to do some kind of a retrace to the downside. We have this right here in form of a trend line. It's like a trend line liquidity. We are inverting bullish PD arrays. We are we met the after 11 times, so we probably will seek lower here. But as you can see, price lately has been kind of hard to trade. As you can see on the 4-hour time frame, the last 5 days it has been sitting on the same range, wicking to the upside, wicking to the downside. It's quite of a hard range to trade. The highs have been taken, the lows have been taken, so it's a fickle and a hard environment to trade, because there is no direction, there is no big expansion, I would say, and it makes trading kind of hard for those who like to intratrade. As you can see here, price is really doing what it wants. It is not respecting as it should respect things and PD arrays. It's just taking liquidity to the upside, taking liquidity to the downside, and punishing everybody. That's why I'm just trading demo account for now, because I guess NFP will take us out of this range and will eventually give some momentum to the price action, but until there we will stay inside this range, and we will eventually do this ping pong and zigzag every single session until NFP. Well, we are hitting the 2-hour mark as well on stream. So for those who are there, I would like you to ask for your like. If you're not subscribed or you're not following me, you can do it on YouTube. You can do it on Twitch and my other socials as well. I will probably in the stream in some minutes, because I will try not to keep this above 2 hours. 2 hours is a good time already. But yeah, I will be here tomorrow once again. But keep in mind that you should eventually not trade. If you're trading real accounts, you should not trade real accounts from Wednesday afternoon until Friday eventually, because Friday we will have the NFP, which is a big news driver event, and we can expect a lot of manipulation, and with that manipulation, a lot of manual interventions as well. It can get things very messy. So I advise you not to trade until Friday. Probably return to your trades on real environments on Monday. But if you want to trade still, you can do it probably until Wednesday, until tomorrow morning. Price can eventually do something. Otherwise, I expect price to just consolidate Wednesday afternoon, and eventually Thursday the whole day, and then on Friday it will get out of the 4-hour consolidation, as you can see, but with a lot of manipulation and manual intervention, which we cannot anticipate. That's why those conditions are low probability conditions, and you should avoid those conditions honestly, because it can really ruin your day and your account and your hard work, because of those that like to put their hands on price and do their messy stuff. Yeah, it can eventually happen, honestly. Well, as you can see, price just came down. It will eventually grab these lows here and eventually resume higher. That's what I'm expecting. Or otherwise we will just maintain this zigzag and eventually come to 830 open, or this inverted fair value gap here, and then come to the upside a little bit more, come to the downside, upside, downside, and that's what price usually does when it's waiting for big news like the NFP on Friday. Let me just see if this does some type of a run to the downside here, since we are respecting these bullish bearish PD arrays. Notice how NQ still has these data lows to take out, so it can eventually do a run to the downside. I'm not expecting that much of a downside move, but it can happen. It's moving to the downside. Let's see, I'm kind of curious to see where it will stop. Looking into OT levels, we can eventually expect price to come just a little bit more below where it is now. But as you can see, these are hard conditions to trade, honestly. Price is not moving in a clean way. This is typical pre-NFP behavior, where price tends to create some kind of a range to entice people to get in, and then eventually on Friday it will destroy both sides of the range. Price still moving down here. I'm just kind of curious to see where price wants to stop this retrace. But yeah, see how price is displacing to the upside here. Once again, this is a typical environment. It just came to the 50% of the OTE level. Could have reached a little bit lower, but it didn't, and just moved to the upside, inverting or trying to invert the bearish fair value gap. So this is a type of environment that you would like to avoid. No clear intention, hard retraces, taking out liquidity, PD arrays not being respected. It's almost creating a range to NFP and to NFP to take out on NFP as well. I'm glad I'm not taking any trades on real accounts or combines or funded accounts, because this range here, the 4-hour range that is being present since the 24th of April, it's a nightmare to trade, honestly. There's only 2 ways to trade this. There's only one way to trade it. Is as soon as you hit buy side liquidity or sell side liquidity in form of a high or a low of the 4-hour candle, you just wait for some type of a turtle soup or some type of a inversion. That's the only way that I really can trade it, because taking or trying to take trades in some type of a direction is hard, because you never know when price will stop and do a harsh retrace. See how price is behaving. Displacement to the downside after a big retracement to the upside. It's just doing its own thing, just zigzagging without any real intention or clear intention, I mean. Once again, trying to push a little bit lower here. But leaving these wicks. NQ still has these lows here to be taken. I mean, no, I'm not now. These lows here. This low, the data low on NQ is still open. So eventually we can expect the NQ to make a run to the downside, taking the data low. But on the other hand, we are approaching OT levels here. On the 15-minute, we just swept the last candle's low. On the 4-hour, seems like we still have some move to the downside, some room to the downside, I mean. NQ is approaching these lows right here, so it still has the data low to be taken. But price just respected the 0.62 OT level to the tick, as you can see here. So this was the retrace that was eventually expected. And so far, price is retesting the midnight open once again. This for value gap. The bearish one is trying to hold, but honestly, don't know if it's going to hold or not, because still can see bullish momentum. As you can see, these these wicks are, every time they are higher and higher. So at this point I will end the stream. I'm glad I did not traded any combine or funded account. I'm just demoing, since I'm expecting these next few days to be a hard price action. Let's just close this. Hard price action, since we are inside of some type of a range on the 4 hour, and it's way too hard to trade this. Nothing clear. We every time there's a new PD array, it gets disrespected on both ways, and suddenly the price just moves in some type of a direction, and that makes everything fall into part, and there's no edge, honestly. So for those watching, thank you very much. I will be here tomorrow once again. Hope to see you tomorrow here, and hope to interact with you as well. Thank you for being here, and have a good afternoon and a good night as well. Thank you very much.